Yes, indeed. We finna get it in, man. We finna get it in. My fault. Take a couple of days off. Went out to PA. Got me a little shrimp on the barbecue action. You know what I'm saying? So there goes that. Now I'm back. Time to do the show, baby. You know what I mean? Now, as usual, let me share with the world. What's going on, Kevin? Welcome back, welcome back. Let me share with the world quick fast what we're doing here. And then we're going to do it. Give me 3 seconds. I can't see what y'all typing just yet. I got all these music groups we got to share too. I will be right back in the conversation shortly. Mad Sharon. All right, and that's the story there. All right. Oh, absolutely. I try to instruct. In fact, I'll try to instruct tonight. if that helps any. But tonight, as I was preparing to do the show, which was funny as hell, I got so into it that I went ahead and I kind of I kind of did a damn beat. So right now, right now I got to kind of reverse engineer what the hell I did here because I already have it, as you can see. It's in one scene. I found this one kit in my Street Swarm, which is called the Freddy kit, in the machine expansion, and like I fucking just went off on it for like a half hour before the show. So, but it's cool though. There's more to add. Like I had to stop myself and go, no, 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 because this shit is hot. So I gotta, you know, wait to add more shit as I go live. So the tempo tonight is pretty damn high and pretty specific. To make all this work, the tempo is 142.77. You know, don't ask me why it's that tempo, but that tempo works. It's kind of a chopper flow. Um, and it does work. It does work. So, you know what I mean? And yeah, I already got it saved up. Saved this shit. I call this shit Hyperdrive. So, that's going to be our beat for tonight. Um, right off the bat, I already know that I'm going to add other things. So while I tell you the tale of the take, I think I'm going to load me up some brass. This could use my signature trumpet touch. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Um, so yeah, that's the tale of the take, man. My fault I've been away for so long. But now it's time to kick shit back in gear. So what I'll do is I'll play the intro. I'll let it, because that's just gonna be the sample. It's a dual stage sample, so to speak. There's the sample itself, and then there's kind of like a little additive there that I chopped up and put underneath it. So yeah, that's what we're working with. You are at the beginning, and you are now IDDQD. Let's work. So it's a quick, because that goes into my shit afterwards. It's a quick tempo. If you ever want to find out the tempo, just hit Shift Tab on the machine here, and that'll give you the tempo that you're rolling with. Now you see I got this scene cut in half because I wanted an intro of 8 bars. So mad simple to do. You just, after you have whatever barage you've been working with, and you just want to cut it straight in half, just right from here you pull it back, and you know, in that way we can make it happen. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and expand it to the 2/16s that I have here, but since we're at 142 tempo, they kind of feel like 8s, so I made 2 of them. You know what I'm saying? So right now I'm gonna expand it out, and it's actually gonna drop into the beat. So here we go. Now I've layered this with a little bass. And I basically copied it and pasted it and took a few things out in order for it to do that little beat break right there. And then I busted a little beat break at the end of this to let it loop back into the other 16, because I don't think this shit's gonna have a hook. I think I'm just gonna go like roll with it like this. You know what I'm saying? So it's just gonna be like, so that's pretty much where I'm at right now. So what I'll do is I'll create another pattern. In creating patterns, you hit the pattern button and select any one of these squares. Like you see, I got one that's gonna be on my first scene right here, and it's an 8 bar. Now my next scene here is a 16 bar, and you see it's like doubling itself, boom and boom. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna create another one by hitting any one of the unlit squares and hit the length knob when you're in pattern mode and just scroll out to 16 bars. So now it's across 16 bars. So whatever I play out in this, which in this case right now I got a trumpet loaded up on here. I don't know how I'm going to use it yet, but I have it preset to play anywhere within the 16 bar range. So, and then to make it easier on myself, I'll go into the next scene, scene 4, and I'll put that empty scene into it. So now all I got to do is play it across 1/16, and then it'll play across the other 16. Essentially, that's a little bit of arrangement and composition at the same time, since again I messed around and started this shit without y'all, and I'm sorry, but this shit got good to me. So having said that, let's add some shit, man. So now I threw on a trumpet. I have no idea what I'm gonna do with this trumpet, so this is where the fun part comes in. Now I usually put my scales onto jazz scale in the machine. When you have it in keyboard mode, which is this button right here I'm touching, the scale will pop up right up here on this knob, and you know, you can choose whatever scales you like, the way it's actually laid out. And then of course our octaves are up here: octave up, octave down, semi-octave down, semi-octave up. I usually go octave down, octave up type shit. All right. feeling around for the key. Because again, I come into these with no idea as to what I'm gonna write until I start writing it, like this situation that you hear before you. So now, back into my keyboard mode. Let me drop an octave, see how that works. Remember, these keys are pressure sensitive. Let's see. I think I'm going to hit them lightly. Play it at the end of the ball. Right here, right? So we go. Now you see a couple of those came out like mad loudish when I played them, because I hit the key a little too hard. So what you do is you go down here to your velocity. Alright, now I gotta shorten one, I can hear it. Boom. Right here. Okay, so I'm gonna shorten this a bit because I want this one to kick in a little earlier. So you just move one back, move one forward, simple shit. And this cuts out 3 bars out. So So I'm going to cut that to 3 bars to keep it. Okay, so now it looks like I'm going to have to make a duplicate, because one cuts off, like right here, it's going to cut off short and on point. And in the other one, we're still, it rides out till the end. Okay, so we're not, so it's going to be a velocity issue more than anything right there. So I'll cut it back to where it was. Now I'll make a duplicate of this real fast. Pattern, duplicate as you have your pattern highlighted. And then we're going to take this one all the way out, because here the drums go all the way out. Now I might want to cut it maybe like 1 bar short, just to see where we're at with that. And then shift save, man. Chronic save. Save like you got chronic reload syndrome in a first person shooter, because you never know when them lights are gonna go out, man. And you just lose your shit. Okay, like that. Like that. I like where this is going. 3 seconds, y'all. Sometimes change a little peripheral here, and I do have to stop the music. I do apologize. It takes me 2 seconds, I promise you. Sometimes it goes to the point where y'all can hear the music, but for me, shit gets funky. So I gotta change my peripherals real fast. Where my speakers at? Blah. And now we go again. Drop the velocity of that part that goes da-da. Just drop it just a little bit. Slight bit, just to give it so it doesn't stick out too much from the pattern here that we have. Now remember, these are 2 different versions at this point, so their velocities will be individual. See, like that I like right there. Might even take it 2 more, like half a bar out. That right now, for right now. Now let's roll with something else. So I'm going to add another pattern into this whole mix. I'm going to select pattern 3 and just rock out another 16. Again, the way you do that, if you want, you can just plus a group here, or just hit the next group button and empty like the white group button on the machine. Once you hit it, it turns a color as an active group. You know what I'm saying? Then see, the whole thing is blank now when you're in pattern mode. So I'm going to hit me a square. So that, see, it pulls up like a 2-bar loop. Right, so now I want it to be at a 16, and like I said, when you're in pattern mode, it's already preset. The little pattern knob up here that corresponds with this knob. You start turning that son bitch, you see how it turns out, and you just fill in the blanks until it gets to 16 like that. Boom. Now you got 16 bars of something empty, you know, that you haven't even filled with no sounds yet. I call it the palette, like my man Bob Ross over here does, you know what I'm saying? So now the question is, what do we want to fill that palette with? Alright, and in this case I think I'm going to go for pianos. Now I got many pianos, as you can see, but overdoing this for a little bit, I have got me some favorites. So like, this is my whole library, right? And I rock complete, so there's a lot of shit here, right? And I went through a lot of them, and I like particular ones. If you want to go through particulars, right, so see I got all instruments selected here, so I get my drop down tab, boom. Now it brings me into individual like packs, you know what I'm saying? And I rock Alicia's keys all fucking day, you know what I'm saying? Then it brings up just the Alicia's keys version, and now these things are already preset lovely, so I just use them. And see, I got my star next to this one for the big concert hall ones. I really like what their sound is like, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit that. See, now it loads it up into my sound one, and remember, I got a preset palette here ready to add whatever I want. So we're done with pattern mode at this point. You just click override into keyboard mode, and since I already set the scale to jazz, it's already where, even in the same octave as I had the horns, which makes it a lot easier to just continue composing. Now, one thing I do suggest, since both of these are kind of playing in sync, so to speak, I'm just going to single out scene number 2. So it just keeps on looping, and I got that 16 bar palette underneath it. Now you could do what I did in the other one and just put it in the next one, but here's just another way to do it if you want to kind of zoom in on it, so to speak. So now I can go in there, let's say, like once I do those 3, and I could set them up, you know, layer under them to make them sound a little more richer, somewhere similar to preacher chords, or the MK3 is a really dope thing. It's got a chords button. Now it brings up a little sub menu up here. For chord mode, I go to chord set. Now this brings up preacher chords. Usually it starts bringing them up in a major, but I'm sensing them in a minor here. So at this point, I'm just gonna, you know, click through a couple of them on the pads here and see if any of them match up to my sound that I'm going for here. And again, right next to the chord set, we got a type, you know, major, minor, and there's a bunch of like different chord sets for each one. So I'm gonna kind of mess with them and go through them and see if any of them match the sound that I'm going for here. I'm going to raise the octave up, same way as you would do when you're in keyboard mode. Alright, so now I'm going to scroll. I want to scroll down to the minor chords just to see those would sound a little better. Now again, I can go through all the majors if I want to, but you know, this is more of a want thing. Go an octave up. Now let's go to minor 2, and eventually you're gonna find that one chord set that works for your piece. Just a matter of looking for it. So in this case, I think I'm going to stick with the majors. The majors were coming up close. Alright, let's see what major 2 has to offer. Because again, if this doesn't work for us, I just like to look through these just in case you could find a gem of a preacher chord real quick. If not, just go back to keyboard mode and make one. You know what I'm saying? There's no shame in that. Octave that down. Keep it at a higher octave, and then go right back to major 4 now. Let's go to major 5. Now, if you have a formal music education, this shit should be a lot easier. I don't, so I do this. So, if you do have an understanding of notes and all that good shit, and you could do this quickly, because all the scales are displayed right up here for you, then you're gonna breeze through this shit. Me, I gotta kind of go by ear. Like these two, right? Now I'm gonna octave down. Something about like that is ringing true. It's just a matter of where to put it. Now we don't have to use all of that. All right, well, we could be like, have me a thunk it. Right? In this scene, I'll eliminate the horns. Right? Since the horns come in, now I'm going to widen everything out. And on scene number 4, I'm going to put this empty one in so that I can play across both the 16s. So, I wonder if I octave down one more time. Up one more time. Now that could just start playing, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, alright, let me try to record that real quick. Now velocities are important on this. I'm just getting them all wrong. So now we have some kind of a pattern here, right? So what we'll do is we'll highlight this whole thing, right? And we will shift quantize it, and that usually brings it within the parameters of good. Mess with our velocities at this point. So we don't want them smacking too hard. We want it to kind of be just there, but not there almost, you know? Now in the second one, you're going to take the pattern and duplicate it and delete the back end. Oh, we don't need that because the horns are there. Don't want this to be too loud at all. Right. And on this one, I even want it to come in on a shorter note, right? So what I mean by that is stretch these out to actually fit this much. Now that they're all equal lengths, we'll select all 4 of them. All right, stretch them out, and then at the same time, cut them in half. See, that velocity is still too loud for my taste. Bring it down some. Even the entry velocity is a little loud, so we'll cut that back. velocity, just a tippy toe up, and then we'll slice it down to just one little segment and see how that works for us. Machine jam in tandem with all of this. Once you bring it out into level mode and you hit level in any one of the groups, it'll bring out all the groups on the mixer. If you hit level and any one of the sound pieces right here, it's going to bring you into that sound's particular, so you can now do your hi-hats and all that good stuff, you know, and kind of level it real fast. Now I like where my levels are at, so I'm going to go back into the group, and I just set the actual piano down a little bit, if you can see that. So we're going to keep that a little bit lower than the rest of it. Like that. Whenever you don't like something, if you're one move back, shift undo, which is the first pad right here, and whatever you did, it undoes. Now, what I want to do is I want to try to put these pianos in the intro, but since the ones that I have is a 16 bar pattern, I'll duplicate the pattern real fast. Alright, and like I said, just chop it back to an 8. Alright, throw it on the first one. Now, and on this one, throw the other one back on there. So now that's simple. I have it in the intro as well, and it is cut down to 8 bars. Now you even have me another idea. Past the intro, what if first pattern. Now I'm gonna let it play from the beginning, just so I can see how this works. I'll take the pianos out of the first 8 bars of the first 16. So the pianos will kick in with the bass. Makes sense, but this part right here, now we're gonna wanna do it this way. Okay, now another thing. Here, just for posterity's sake, make a duplicate of this pattern, and I'll take those last 2 little hi-hat roll off, since I'm playing it with the intro, which may dub as a hook. At this point, I don't know, nor do I care, but I just wanted to loop well. Try is removing this snare drum here. I don't know if it's gonna work, but I'm gonna try removing it and see what happens. I'll remove it out of the first pattern and see where we go from with that. Now let's see how that break feels when it's just completely cut right there. Alright, so then what I'll wind up doing is chopping back on the sample itself. I'll chop it 1 whole bar. And then the second one, I'll still keep it with the snare drum on the cut. So now this could almost dub as a damn hook right here. Just a quick little, yeah, and a quick little drop in right into it. Now let's see, I cut those flutes short an extra bar. So at that point I'm gonna need to cut back the 2 hi-hats preceding it, basically making a larger gap right here. So it'll just end off with the 2 kick drums. Essentially making both the 16s a little bit different, which is good. Throw some hi-hats in at the beginning right there. Now let's see how this break works. that works a lot more efficiently. So I'm going to keep that. Now the real debate is, do we keep it in the second one? I actually like the difference in between the two. Leave that out. Spelled that real wrong. Kind of looking through other kits, see if I can find anything that just to see if that works. How this little rise thing works. Okay, so I gotta lower the velocity way down. Way down. Boom. Okay, see somebody spitting on this shit real quick. And fall situation to work at the end. I'll just single out the last scene to save it time from looping all the way around. I've dropped the velocity considerably. I'll drop it some more out of paranoia, but work. That will work. And it's just for that end part. Nothing more, nothing less. To let it transition back into the beginning. Having said that, let's try that. Now the good thing is I have a bunch of hi-hats already here from that other piece of scene, so I have a good palette to choose from. Go ahead and zoom out a little bit. And so we'll take all of these and just drag them right out. Start them at about the second half of the intro. Hey. Not feeling that little rise and fall shit, so I'll take it out. Let it just be a death drop. Yeah, better off that way. Horns come in only in one part of this whole thing, right? I wonder if we take out the flutes in that section. Let's see what happens. Work, but one way to find out. To a certain extent, I guess it did work, but I think I'll put that shit back in. Now this is like a straight 32 right here, man. Sometimes a straight 32 is what we're looking for. break right here. See, that just made it a little more valid. I like that. I like that. We're going to keep that. Quick. So I'm going to double up on this whole thing. Bear with me. Bear with me. Bear with me. And then we'll stick 4 up in here like so. There's 4. Doubled it in length, essentially. Now on the second one here, pattern duplicated, so it's just a little bit different. Do it like that. This is going to roll all the way through. Yeah. Okay. I like how that's feeling. Try not to confuse the stop key with the shift key, like I just did. All right. Works for this one, I'll put it into the other one, but what up, synth? What up, Axel? Hey, what happened to you? It's that good pain, don't worry about it. Hey. Hey. Not just yet. Not just yet. Gonna be going out to PA to see the guy on Thursday night. And there we shall discuss many guests. My fault, y'all. I'm talking across 3 different networks, so if y'all not seeing who I'm talking to, it's because they're on a different network. We live on Twitch, we live on YouTube, and we live on Facebook. So, okay, so I'll take that last hi-hat off real quick. Messiah, you should be the next guest, Mo. That booth feels empty without you, man. There are guests on here sometimes. In that booth, spitting the truth. Then I'm gonna be in the booth. It doesn't matter. But you should still come on the show and show everybody your key skills, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what? I might just put another one of these in here and see how that works. baby. Quickly, quickly, quickly. Go, 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 go. Just the velocity up just a little bit. I'd like to take this opportunity to talk shit. Okay, let me see how that hi-hat is. Come on. All right, one more hi-hat back. I'll get it. Hey. Thank you much, Synth. Hope somebody's freestyling somewhere. Hey. Okay, come on, hi-hats. Gotta bring him back. I'm about to just keep him right through. Hey. Peace out, Messiah. Hey. I'm gonna go smoke some of this real shit real quick. I'll be right back. Y'all enjoy the tune. Still on the jack. Talk to me. here. That was good. All right, y'all. Time to bring this bad bitch to the finale. Dope. Another kick-ass track, another kick-ass night. Catch the aftermath on YouTube, GodMode Studios, and the track in high quality on SoundCloud, GodMode Studios again. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you tomorrow for session 123. And as always, peace.